Hello, good evening. Welcome to my channel. I guess I'll be calling this a car series because I think currently I'm shooting most of my contents in the car. So happy to be here with you guys in 2026. Let's go straight to it. I want to speak about what most people know the name, but they don't know much about it. One of the most infamous taxes of the Nigerian tax system, which is the value added tax VAT. VAT, sorry. So what is VAT? Value added tax is it's an indirect tax. There are two types of taxes. There are direct taxes, then there are indirect taxes. Taxes they use corner to collect from people. If we put it in a Nigerian layman's term, it's not too direct. It's there. So what is the tax rate for value added tax VAT in Nigeria? It used to be 5%. In the 2021 Finance Act, it was upgraded to 7.5, which the new Nigerian Tax Act still maintained the 7.5% for the value added tax. The value added tax system in Nigeria is regarded as one of the lowest rates in the world. That's the truth. Some countries like the UK, the US, a lot of countries, theirs are above 10%, some 10. But the value added tax in Nigeria is having challenges because some states are still charging taxpayers what is known as sales tax or consumption tax, which is still the same thing as VAT that the federal government is collecting. So when I say state, I'm referring to revenue offices known as the Internal Revenue Services of states. There are 36 states in the country, right? Yeah. Then plus the FCT, which has FCT IRS. So I think the FCT is yet to do that, but I know in Rivers State and Lagos State they charge consumption tax, which is unfair to the taxpayers. It creates a multiple taxation of the same services or goods rendered. Then it gives room for tax burden on people and stuff, and it creates more issues in the tax ecosystem of the country. So, as we stated, it's a value added tax. It's a tax that's added on the value of goods or services. That's, for example, let's say I I have a well and I decide to treat the water. Okay, or let me give a common example. Um, Poultry farmers, they sell their chicken to fast food restaurants. Let's say Kilimanjaro, former Mr. Biggs, KFC. Then the KFC people now add spices to this chicken, oven bake them or fry them in crispy form, in peppered form. Then they serve you. When they're serving you this thing, there's always a way they impute this value added tax to you so that you pay. The reason is that now chicken as an agro product, it's not vatable. But once they process it in these eateries, they have added value to it, spice, create environment for you to sit down and enjoy it. So now they have added value to this chicken. So government decided that they will on their own come and take part in this your enjoyment. So as you're enjoying that chicken, you'll be paying them. So that's where the 7.5 comes and you pay. So the 7.5 is added on the net amount you're paying for any goods or services in Nigeria alone. Then there are companies that are zero rated, like those that are diplomats, those that are operating in the free trade zone in ports. So they don't charge them VAT because of the exemptions they get for being such places. And there are exemptions for VAT. Places of worship like mosque, church, you don't pay VAT. All these your clerics will be shouting, contribute, donate, they don't pay tax, they pay zero tax. Then schools, which is applaudable, they are not taxed VAT. In short, all these places I'm mentioning, they don't tax them any tax, except when they do things that involves business. Like let's say you own a church, which is not taxable. Then you decide to open a pure water company or a furniture company with the name of the church, which at the end of the day aims to make profit. Once you start doing things that bring in profit, or a school, you own a school, then you start doing business that brings in profit for you on the side, it attracts taxes, which also includes the value added tax. Then we have places like the pharmaceutical companies. Medical services are not vatable, they are exempted from value added tax. So it hurts me in the country when you go to hospitals and they charge you big money, especially the private clinics. These places, they don't pay value added tax. In short, the value added tax actually not even paid by those places. Is to those they provide the services to. So like hospitals is exempted because the government felt it's unfair to tax sick people who are there for the medical services, or when they go to pharmacies to buy medication, then they tax them for those goods, those medications from the pharmacy. So they are not charging them VAT for it, which is understandable. Then for the kids, when they go to school, it's not good to tax education. You're trying to make the future of the country bright by educating your kids and making things easier for the country in the future. If they learn, the more we have literate people in the society, the more the society is safe. One of the challenges we have as a nation in Nigeria, this civil unrest, banditries, and the rest, is because majority of them are illiterates. So now, not charging VAT on education shows that the country is willing to improve on the educational system and not to burden the educational system of the country. Then recently, the Nigerian Tax Act introduced, they used to charge VAT on rent when you pay your rent for apartments and houses and stuff, or stores. They used to charge rent on it. So now the committee that worked on the Tax Act that was recently amended or enacted in the National Assembly decided that it would be good, due to the standard of living in the country and other things, that it's to be fair not to charge VAT on rent and other things. Then there's e-invoicing they introduced the Nigerian Tax Act recently. There are bigger companies that the government felt that it would be proper for them to digitalize their taxation. So when people are buying things online and stuff and the rest, they charge them VAT directly and remit back to the federal government through FIRS. So now, there's something I need to clarify. FIRS is no more, it's NRS. So pardon me. FIRS used to be Federal Land Revenue Service. So the government felt in the new tax act to re-establish the FIRS to NRS, which is Nigerian Revenue Service. And now, NRS does not keep these taxes, they only administer them. The monies go straight to the central bank account. It goes straight to the federal government's account in the Central Bank of Nigeria, which are actually they are big accounts there. They are called pool accounts, federation account, value added tax account. They cancel the education tax, not cancel, they harmonized them and made them into development levy and the rest. So there's going to be a developmental levy account, pool account in the CBN. So when you pay your taxes through the commercial banks or on your app on your phone, it goes through the NRS platforms. Then it credits the federal government account in the central bank. So NRS offices and staff, their job is only to administer it. They don't keep the money. That's a big misconception. So one of the issues the Nigerian populace are having is that the NRS are going to be deducting taxes direct from people's account. That is a lie. That is a blatant lie. So now the law does not give FRS the power to deduct taxes or collect money for the government from people's account. No. What it does, it, like I stated earlier, big companies, firms, banks, and all these things have been charged for their services. They can charge VAT. So now, in NRS terms, when you're having a transaction from your bank app or over the counter or on any platform, for every transfer or transaction, they charge 15 naira flat stamp duty on every transaction you have. So now, when you do those transactions, there are bank charges, administrative fees for those banks which they provided you with. The services, the service fee they charge you. That is where the value added tax is charged on, not on the sum of the money you're transferring. For instance, let's say you're transferring a million naira, and on that million naira, the bank will charge you flat rate 50 naira stamp duty for that transfer. Then aside from that, they will charge you bank charges, administrative charges for that transfer. Some banks for a million is about 100 naira, 70 naira, 50 naira. Then on that 70, 50, 80 naira, they will charge 7.5, not the 1 million. So that's where those taxes come from. So it's a big misconception we're having in the country that NRS is going to charge people's account directly, block accounts for stuff. Yes, the NRS, they have power to access your accounts, but they don't have power to manipulate them. They can see your transactions to see if you are doing business, or because the reason is that there are people that register businesses and claim they don't do anything. When you check the accounts, you see that money comes in and goes out, comes in and goes out. So that's a countermeasure of intelligence for the NRS to always go and check companies and businesses that they're transacting. So I hope my little explanation of the value added tax, it's going to make an impact to whoever needs the information, and I hope to come up with more content for you guys on taxation, on Nigerian tax system. Thank you very much for your time. I'm happy to be back online. Thank you.